never been done before.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route to do. We the people are free. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited.
Oh, there we are. I've poked myself down the bottom again. Make myself a bit bigger. How's that to you? How are you this very fine evening, folks? Yes, I know it looks like I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm not. I actually have a couple of these. Wearing them back to back because I've been doing filthy, dirty work and they're just about torn through. So I meant to change it and forgot. So I do apologise. Couple of things I want to talk about tonight. Oop, playing with the wrong buttons again, Carl. A couple of things I want to talk about tonight, which we'll get into very shortly. But first of all, if you are in Brisbane or the Gold Coast or the Sunshine Coast region, it might be further afield by now. I want you to try and keep a lookout for this Hilux Ute if you possibly can. I do have better photos of it. And this is a better one even still of its number plate, 887 SFU. 887 SFU. This is owned by a wonderful friend of Voice of Freedom. His name is Keith, and he is in fact the mechanic that's going to be doing the little bit of work that I need to plug up my water issue with the bus. And that is his livelihood, that entire vehicle. Now, it was hooked up to a trailer and thieves came into his yard and took the lot. Trailer, truck, the whole lot. Now, while the ute is insured and some of the stuff on the back of the ute is insured, where the real big money was in the trailer on the back of it. Keith does a lot of big mobile mechanical jobs. And there's about $140,000, $180,000 worth of equipment on the back of that ute. So, or on the back of the trailer and the ute. So if you do happen to see this ute driving around with this plate, 887 SFU, and it hasn't been through any tolls, so odds are, I would say it's probably still in the southern Brisbane area, probably in somebody's shed while they're trying to sell all the tools through a cash converters or something somewhere. But if you can find that ute, folks, keep an eye out. And if you do see it, don't call me, call the police. Tell them that it's been stolen out of the Logan area and you know that there is a report in for it. Keith will be more than grateful. And I mean, it's the last thing Keith needs. I mean, we're all doing it tough at the moment, but Keith has been a godsend to many people. He's helped me, but he's helped me in very minor ways compared to the way he helps so many other people. And to have this happen to him, sadly, it's likely to force his retirement because he won't be able to go and do the work that he can do. He's been left with practically no tools at all. So absolutely horrifying for that to have happened. So my heart goes out to Keith. So if you can keep an eye out for that, folks, and help him out, it would be greatly appreciated. Baz, first in the house tonight, mate. Done well. G'day, what the? Ahoy, shipmates. I haven't received your email yet. I see that there's you say that there is an itinerary. This sounds like a great idea. I think we've got about, not including me, and I haven't put Tim down yet, who I informed today. He's the guitar playing mate, I told you. That we'd have to convince to come and join us. I haven't put him down or myself. I did convince, I think, Tim's son to come with us, and he's got a girlfriend, I think, so she'd probably come. At the moment, our list is looking at about 10 or 12. Actually, a little bit larger than that, 14. If you would like to be part of it, then email me, carl@vofhq.com, and when that itinerary turns up from what the, I will share that, and we'll see whether or not we can't get as many of us on there as humanly possible and go and have a bit of a cruise together. It'd be nice to go and spend some time. It'd be nice to have a break because we won't be able to do a show while we're doing the cruise, but rest assured, we will be able to go into the cruise with cameras, and we'll film a lot while we're there and put a lot up when we get back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that itinerary will be May or June of next year, I'm guessing. And being a 4-day Brizzy cruise, they usually go north to Cairns, up around one of the islands up there, starts with W. I can't remember the name of it. You do get to make a couple of shore stops, I think, along the way, or possibly one shore stop, which might be somewhere around Hamilton Island, where you go and get to go to White Sands Beach and those sorts of places and have a bit of a look there. I've never been to, well, particularly that beach. I've never been to Hamilton Island either, for that matter. But I've driven past the airport that takes people there. Bit stupid, but yes, looking for that. And Connie is one of the people, and her other half, Alan, who have said they wouldn't mind coming on the cruise. So great to have you there, Connie. I hope that all happens. Well, I suppose I could take my Starlink, but I've got to go and set the Starlink up on the top of the ship somewhere. And my Starlink is not the mobile version. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying that it's not the mobile version that people are putting on motorhomes and that kind of thing, that the one that lays flat, if you like, on the roof of a motorhome. That is designed differently so that it can receive from satellites that are going this way while the car's going that way, for instance, or that way, or whichever way the car might be going, or the vehicle that's got that in it. Now they're doing it with planes and all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure that they'll have Starlink or similar available on the boat. They'll just charge 17 different arms and legs for it. Yes, if I can take my own Starlink on, and there is a way, and there probably would be, getting up on the poop deck and doing a show live off the poop deck is probably a possibility now that I think about it. We'd have to do it in league with the cruise line and ask them for, permission to do it and all that sort of stuff, but anything is possible. So we'd love to have you aboard for that. And if you're worried about seasickness pills, there are plenty of them available, and a bracelet that you can wear, little pressure patches. I'm not sure that an X39 wouldn't help you. But as I've said in previous shows talking about this cruise idea, I haven't added Vince to the thing yet either, although we've got to convince Vince, and this is what I'm getting to. Car motion, no rocking and rolling, no weaving, no jumping, no, feeding the fish from the 14th level of the ship, and or not being able to get out of bed. So there are plenty of ways to get around seasickness. So it'll be a great time to catch up with everybody and have a wonderful day. Silver today blew past $86, and didn't it? What? I'm just going to have a bit of a look at what it says here, and I've been going to a couple of different places to check the prices, because for whatever reason there seems to be something of a small difference between different bullion dealers. But at any rate, at Ainsley Bullion at the moment, pardon me, the silver spot price is $80.96, but I have seen it on Ainsley's site today over 83, like well over $83, and I have seen it on other sites today up at 86 or close. I think I did see it over 86, Paul, at one stage. At the moment, on one of the other sites, it's 82.56. So gold has had the big jump today as well. It's gone to 6,417 on one of them, and Ainsley is showing at 6,403. So bit of a jump from what we were seeing last night with gold. Now, we've told you I don't give financial advice in regard to these sorts of things, but I do try and give you a bit of a suggestion now and again, if I can. Yeah, well, the way silver's going, you might think I was joking when I said, we'll see $100 before Christmas. At the rate we're going, we'll see $90 early next week if we don't see it before the end of this week, but we'll see it middle of next week. And from there, $100 is not very far away. That means if you were to buy now, you're probably going to make yourself $20 plus, $30 plus an ounce very, very quickly. So that's why we're seeing so many people lined up at Ainsley Bullion around the country at the moment. And thank you to a number who've contacted me and reached out and said that they've used Voice of Freedom or my name at Ainsley Bullion when they're purchasing. And some of them have been significant purchases. So thank you very much. It's wonderful when I hear that back from Ainsley when they tell me that sort of stuff. So can't appreciate you enough for mentioning me. And at the moment, at Ainsley Bullion, in Melbourne at least, they're 1 kilo silver bars waiting to, or the new stock is waiting to arrive. So you can only buy those on order at the moment. But in Brisbane and the Gold Coast stores, they still have 1 kilo bars. They've got bigger ones too. They also have a lot of smaller ones, but 1 kilo is obviously a size that a lot of people have been focusing on. It'll start a bank run. Well, that's an interesting point that you raised there, Bull's Nuts, because the bank run appears to have started in a few countries already, and it has been in line with the introduction of a digital ID or digital banking or digital credit system. We saw it first in Vietnam, where overnight 83 million people lost access to their bank account. That's because AI took over and certain algorithms went into play. And if you weren't the kind of person that they wanted to have access to money, then you didn't get it. That's also being done in China at the moment. In fact, it is the most extreme example of it in China at the moment, where teenagers and young people are sleeping on the street. You get access to slow internet. You can't buy train tickets. You can't get out of the country. In some cases, you can only buy certain kinds of food, meaning lower class food, much less healthy food. You have no freedom of travel, no freedom of choice, and no bed to sleep in. And this is happening all over China to the tune of a couple of million people every week are winding up living hard on the streets in China due to their social credit system. Now, we're not seeing a great deal of it out. I would play you some video I have, but they've put music over it, so it'll get us kicked if we play that, or it get us copyrighted at least, which would be it's a pain in the ass I don't really need. And while the music is not offensive or anything like that, the music that they put under a lot of these things has been written by AI, and the rights to that music go to whoever put it up for the first time, and that's how a lot of these people are now going out and trying to make money out of AI-generated content, because they get paid on the music they're creating for it as well. So if you're a bit musical, there is actually quite a good thing in that. Yeah, there is a bit of bad lag tonight, isn't there? I'm just trying to see. Well, let me shut down a few things. I've got only 15,000 windows open, so let me I'll pull that one up and pull them down too. All right, that might help a little bit. Pulling out a few of these websites that I've got lined up. Although the ones that I do want to share with you tonight, I guess we should kick into pretty quickly. You were lucky enough to get 20 Oz today. Oh, well done, Michelle. Good get. There is plenty of great ways that you can buy. But silver is silver. Remember, when you buy the big, nice, shiny coins, the ones that look really nice and have had all the artwork put on them, have a premium price on them. But when you go to sell them, any bullion dealer is only going to give you what silver is worth on the day. They don't care how shiny or nice or bright it is, or what supposed intrinsic value there is in the cut of the coin. So if you are simply looking to invest and make money and turn over that investment potentially in the not too distant future, I would be really considering, and I am really considering, not that I've got much by way of cash in the bank, but I think the bank runs are happening, as we were talking about before. Already people in Vietnam, China are obviously cut out. Now it's happened in Thailand as well. And they're adding, well, they've already put over 2 million people on their blacklist. And they're adding to that to the tunes of tens of thousands of people per day. Now, they're limiting those people's access to absolutely everything, including government support or help or agency help in any way, shape, or form. This is what is coming to us, folks, if we allow digital ID to get a foothold in any way, shape, or form into this country. And we can only hope and pray that when Albo Sleazy meets up with Donald Trump on the 20th, I think it is, of this month, that will be drilled home into his beanie little brain. And hopefully there will be a big pullback of this measure before December when it's due to come in. I don't know that it's possible. This might also be the kind of thing that's meant to come and wake us up. But Donald Trump has been pretty amazing at the moment trying to wake us up. And I'm not sure whether he's trying to, or exactly what he's trying to wake us up to. Donald Trump made a speech to the Knesset. There are so many different parts of this speech that are concerning. I'm going to play you a piece where he's specifically referring to his daughter Ivanka and how he is letting the Jewish nation know that she has made a big decision in her life.
And let me also give a very special thanks to someone who truly loves Israel. In fact, loves it so much that my daughter converted. My daughter converted. I didn't know this was going to happen. And Ivanka's here.
The last time I heard regimented clapping like that was in a North Korean celebration of their leader, or maybe in the Nazi days of Hitler at the Nuremberg rallies. Why is he parading the fact that his daughter has renounced Jesus? There's a bit of confusion about who the Jews consider to be holy and who they don't. And we'll get into that on another night. I've actually got a very interesting video I could probably play you, but I'm debating on how much trouble I'm going to get into if these laws come into play in December and they go back and look through some of the stuff I've put up. I think I'll be already lined up to be locked up, so to speak. It shouldn't be, I don't think it'll be something that we'll be looking forward to exactly, but it does appear that it could be on its way. Many of you yesterday may have had the opportunity to hear what, for me, is 43 minutes thereof of some of the most disgusting, sickening audio I've ever heard. And I'm flabbergasted that it went to air, even in 1975, when I had practically no understanding of radio at all, other than there was something that talked on a box that came out of the kitchen every morning. However, I listened to that yesterday for the brief period that it was available on YouTube, and it was lifted from YouTube very rapidly and blocked by the powers that be at YouTube. Thankfully, many people recorded it, and it will be back up all over the internet. But one of those organisations that did record it was Australia One. And I've just posted a link into the chat now if you would like to listen to this absolutely disgusting bit of filth. And I, don't feel you have to go and listen to it. But it is quite disgusting. And I think it's probably behoven to know that a lot of the people that allowed that to go to air, certainly the participants, have gone on up until a few years ago. Richard Neville only died, I think, 2015, 2016, something like that. And the other participants would probably be in their 80s now if they're still alive. However, it is truly disgusting. But if you missed it and you want to get an idea of what the ABC has been trying to hide, and I don't know the benefit of bringing it out now, other than to say, isn't the timing of that interview rather interesting given the Woods Royal Commission, the things that were happening in around 1973 to 1975 with Australian politicians? And it's, it's deep, heavy, hard listening, and certainly not one you put on to listen to in the car if you've got kids in the car. It is absolutely sickening. But the link is there to where it has been posted up by Ricardo and crew on BitChute. Now, if you're unaware of BitChute, bitchute.com, bitchute.com is where you should go for completely uncensored video. This kind of stuff will always go to BitChute if it's being pushed off the likes of YouTube and or Rumble. I'm not sure that John Adams put the original release up on any other platform. I'm pretty sure he would have only done it on one. That would be to limit his legal exposure. Thankfully today he has been getting a lot of support from various different organizations and entities who have reached out publicly to laud him for releasing this, even though he signed a document when he gained a copy of this audio some years ago. That paperwork included clauses that meant he couldn't release it publicly, he couldn't put it in a program, he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. Essentially, all he could do is sit down and listen to it privately, and that was it. Wasn't able to do anything else. Well, clearly that didn't work out so well. Libertarian New South Wales John Ruddock has got up in New South Wales Parliament today and had a few words to say about it.
This House expresses its deepest concern over the Australian Broadcasting Corporation's decision on the 14th of July 1975 to allow former Late Line host Mr Richard Neville to broadcast an interview with three self-described pederasts about their graphically worded sexual abuse of young children, some as young as 3. 2, that this House recognises that the Honourable Reverend Fred Nile, before his time as a member of this Parliament, was the director of the Festival of Light. And A, that the day after the interview, on the 15th of July 1975, the Reverend Nile provided a recording of the interview and his concerns to the then New South Wales Police Commissioner Fred Hanson. B, that Commissioner Hanson said the police would, quote, study the situation to see if the Vice Squad should be involved. 3, that this House notes that it's concerned that the ABC denied the existence of this interview when questioned by Senator Erica Betts during a question on notice of the Senate Standing Committee on Environment and Communication. 4, that this House commends Mr John Adams for acquiring a copy of the interview in 2023 from the ABC and then publishing it on the 13th of October 2025. 5, that this House further notes that its alarm over the ABC for threatening legal action against Mr Adams as a result of publishing this material. And 6, that this House supports transparency in government, including the ABC, and calls on the Minns government to release all details surrounding the investigation from 1975.
I see a few of you have had a look at it or a listen, and yes, it is hard to get through. It is quite disgusting. I guess I got maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes into it before I was truly disgusted, and then it just got worse from there. But yeah, right. Trump has just put Russian-Ukraine informant. I don't know what informant now it means. Crunch, you're going to have to maybe give me another go. Beware the plus at the string of the letters. Did I copy something down I shouldn't have? And I don't know. Yes, Michelle, I understand. God, do I understand that? Yes, that's confronting. Certainly brings up all sorts of emotions. So just getting back to silver and gold buying, the queues are staggering in Sydney, in Melbourne, in Brisbane. It doesn't really matter which dealer you're at. They've got people everywhere. Now, you don't have to go and stand in a queue. You don't have to wait however long it takes to get through that queue. You can simply go online to ainsleyBullion.com.au. You can make your order there. Don't forget to mention Voice of Freedom or my name, and you'll get a little discount. But they will then pack your order up and send it to you, and insured. So if it disappears in the sending process, they'll send you more. It's that simple. So if you want to avoid the queues, or you're just a fair way out of Brisbane, the Gold Coast, or Melbourne, or anywhere else where there might be a bullion dealer, then I urge you, go to ainsleyBullion.com.au and get on there. And if you are in a position where you don't have a huge amount of money, but you want to take advantage of this, then can I suggest to you opening an Ainsley Saver account right now could pay you massive dividends. Because if you put in $5, $10, $20 a week, a fortnight, a month, whatever you can afford to put in, at the rate gold is going up at the moment, you are going to be making an extraordinary amount of money on your fractional investment in the gold and silver you buy at 5, 10, 20. I think they've got a minimum. I think it might be $25 or $50. But that's the kind of commitment you make every week or every fortnight or every month. And at the rates we're seeing at the moment, you buy today, tomorrow, what you've bought is going to be worth how many more dollars than what it was today? So what I'm saying is that the weight of your gold that you buy today with $5, $10, $20, $50, $100 is going to be worth more tomorrow, given the current trends. So check that out, Ainsley Saver account. There must be a place in there where you can leave my name to say Carl sent me, and I don't know if it gives you. It probably still would give you a bit of a discount. I'm not sure. Try it out, see what it says. But if you're going to buy the hard stuff and you want it in your hand, and you can't or don't particularly want to go and stand in a great long line, then ainsleyBullion.com.au and buy it online, baby. Buy it online. Get them sending it to you, and it is pretty simple. Pardon me, the Katter Party are a bit fired up at the moment, and so they should be. The Katter Australia Party's Castle Law Petition is now the biggest in Queensland's history. Castle Law is a petition that's been brought forward by the Katter Australia Party. People outside of Queensland will be aware of Bob Katter, who has been in the federal parliament now, I think, for 40 plus years. And his father was in the federal parliament. I think it was the federal parliament before that. If not, it was the state. Robbie Katter, Bob's son, is a member for Far North Queensland in the Queensland government. And they have been putting forward the Castle Law for some time and getting a lot of pushback from who would have known, the Liberals and the Labor Party. The Liberals, not so much. The Labor Party, when they were in power, would not entertain this in any way, shape or form. The Liberal Party, well, the Liberal Nats or whatever they call themselves, are a little more open to parts of it. But people of Queensland are certainly showing their colours and are definitely wanting to be part of changing Queensland to a point where you can save yourself, your family, and your property should somebody break into your house or break into your property. This is about being able to not use excessive force, but to use the force required to subdue or to scare off anybody that might be entering your house and looking to do mischief, whether that be stealing things or whatever else. It will certainly stop a lot of young teenagers climbing through windows with machetes in hand, trying to rob a house or intimidate the people therein, as increasingly is happening in Victorianistan. It's unbelievable down there. I'm staggered that there are people willing to move to Victoria, because at the moment, all the traffic in Victoria seems to be one way, and that's people wanting to get out. And why wouldn't you? Some of the shit that woman and her cohorts are bringing in down there is staggering. You are going to be another Beijing, Melbourne, very soon. And Victoria, you're going to be another Chinese province. It is plain to see the actions that they are taking and the laws they're turning a blind eye to, or new laws they're creating to create problems where they get to introduce a solution down the track, are staggering. You cannot allow that to go on. And this is why Castle Law in Queensland, the Castle Law in Queensland will be so effective at reducing crime in our houses and in our businesses. If you have someone breaking into your house and you happen to catch them in the act, and they've got a machete and you happen to pick up a frying pan and bonk them on the head, and you've got them tied up when the police get there, well, Castle's Law protects you from being charged with anything because you protected your family. And that's especially good if whoever's broken into your house is still alive, but it's even better if they're not alive anymore for whatever reason, and Castle Law protects you for protecting your family, your house, your property. Now, if you want to sign that petition, I think we can probably give you a link to where that might be. Let me just try and find it. For whatever reason, I'm not seeing it. Oh, yes, I am. That's not that one. That's that one. There you go. So that is the Castle's Law petition, and I will post the link up in the chat now for that. So if you're in Queensland and you think you'd like to sign that, then love to have you as part of it. There is another petition you also might like to share and consider signing, and that is this one. This is the petition to get a review into the renaming of Fraser Island to K'Gari. Yes, I know there's a K there, but for some reason or other, the Aboriginal language makes the K silent. So K'Gari is what it is now known as. Now, Anthony Clift, who is the petitioner in this particular thing, is an historical archaeologist or a historian, Queensland historian, and has significant doubts about the lies that was told to Queenslanders at the time that Anastasia Pluckerfuck was running the state. And the reasons that she gave at the time for the naming or the renaming of Fraser Island to K'Gari, or it was K'Gari then, she didn't know the K was silent either, was for traditional reasons, and that the word meant paradise in the traditional owners' language, and yada, 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 yada. Turns out, all bullshit. There was also a story about who it was named after, Eliza Fraser. It wasn't her at all. Apparently, it was her husband. They both got marooned there along with some crew off a boat that shipwrecked there in about 1863. So he wants to get that name reviewed, as many Queenslanders want as well, because there was no public consultation, and that's probably the biggest issue with all of this. He doesn't want K'Gari renamed again to have the K'Gari bit taken away, but he does want Fraser Island to be recognised as well, and he has some very good economic reasons for suggesting it, particularly for tourism, stuff that's already out in the community promoting Fraser Island, the international name recognition of Fraser Island rather than K'Gari, and associated other things that would hang off the back of that, all bear down to a huge influx of money into their local economy for people to come and visit and stay and do all those sorts of things. Well, many businesses have been suffering since the renaming of Fraser Island, and I hope that this petition will also get through. So if you would like to sign that petition, and that is the one to review the naming of Fraser Island, then I will post that up in the chat as well right now. Looking around, trying to find it. All good. I think there'll be a lot of support for this petition from all over Queensland. So here endeth the Queensland focused portion of the show. Did say it was going to be petition night for folks in Queensland, so good luck to you there with that one. Oh, that's my petition to sign. Yeah, we've been there and done that. Here's a bit of fun. Albo Sleazy, along with that strange woman who's running the Liberal Party these days, the one that everybody hates, and including her own ministers and or her own cabinet, who, if any of the news that I seem to be hearing is true, she will have a very, very hard time in the lead up to Christmas, and we may well find a resignation or a spill, I think they call it. She's not going to go quietly. She wants to be the first Liberal Prime Minister. Tell her she's dreaming, in the Australian vernacular. But at any rate, Albo and her, and it turns out that Scotty Morrison, and a few other former politicians, a number of celebrities, a huge number of media people have had all of their personal details siphoned from the internet and leaked to the world. So you reckon your digital ID is going to be safe, do you? These hackers used software to sniff the internet for all of the details they could find, personal details, on these people. They must have had quite a list. And the software, very, very good, because, you know, Albo signs up to things. He puts his home address in it. He puts his mobile phone in it, or whatever it needs to be. He might put and give his mobile phone out to a few trusted tradies, or this, that, and the other. Mates he's known for years, because God knows he's been running around tradies for years. And where would they mainly store it? Where could that be stored? Oh, who knows? Could a phone be cloned? Yes, it can. So all of this stuff can get out pretty easily. Oh, I'm dropping. Oh, we're back. So I think that's Vince giving me a hint. Yes, beware. Vince is giving me a hint. He wants me to show you this, which is very good. I was getting to it, mate. Don't worry. What is this? Well, this is the VOFHQ.com homepage. And what we would like you to do, folks, is help President Trump understand what sort of a moron he's going to be meeting. Just how little respect and just how little faith the Australian people have in Anthony Albanese, and particularly our concerns for his headlong rush into digital ID and for the banning of free speech. So Vince has written a Truth Social post. We thought long and hard about the best way to try and get this direct to the White House. We thought about doing a letter campaign or an email campaign to the White House, but as Vince pointed out this morning, the government over there is on furlough. So none of that would get seen until they come back to work, and by which time there'll be 200 million emails and the time for this will be past. So the best way to do it, we thought, was Truth Social. So if you haven't been on Truth Social, then please go and join it. And if you would like, copy and paste that message that is on our front page at vofhq.com, add your name, and send it directly as a truth to Donald J. Trump. All we can hope is that we will be seeing this piece of work sitting opposite Trump in a similar fashion to what Zelensky's original meeting was, and Cyril Ramaphosa from South Africa. I don't want to see him publicly embarrassed, but I want changes made. And he needs to be shown that Donald Trump's support of free speech knows no bounds, it seems. He's sweeping it across the world. He's ending wars. I don't think he won the Nobel Peace Prize this year. And yet look what he's done with Israel and Hamas, Israel and Gaza. I don't know. Well, Vince has been busy this afternoon. He has certainly filled up the front page. So please, folks, take yourselves over to vofhq.com if you would like to retruth that little authored piece that Vince has got at the top, all well and good. And, of course, have a bit of a look at the new stuff that Vince has added on the webpage. And once you've done that, you can click on merchandise and slip over and spend $2. That's all it is, $2, and buy a lottery ticket. It could win you $750 or an ounce of silver, which is going up more and more and more every day. I kid you not. Absolutely stunning. Oh, Vincenzo, the waving wonder, pops in from nowhere. All right. What have I forgotten to mention?
No, just thought I'd bring it up that the whole idea, retruth is definitely one of the best ways to get to him. But the idea is to spread this all over the net. That's through X, through Twitter, through whatever. So what I did there was some short posts as well that you can see.
Oh, yep.
Right. Plus you can attach these images. You'll notice that the blue flag's been used because that's the one that's going to be recognized by Trump.
Yeah.
And also you might notice that these ones just happen to be upside down for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So you can get all of these. You're able to download them all. There's a download option, so you can download them and save them and then repost them. Try and grab this little speech that's up here. Just copy all of that and put that in your post, or use these to put in your post, right? Point them at this side if they want, but try and spread this, share it, get it out as much as possible.
Yeah,
we've only got
get it
7
into your
days.
networks, folks.
Yeah, we've only got 7 days to get Trump to actually see this, because hopefully you can give him a bit of a clout around the ears, right?
Well, that's what we hope, to give him some appreciation of just how strong the feeling is against this government in Australia. And we mentioned the petition, I think, in there too, don't we? The no confidence in the Albanese government petition, which currently has 160-odd thousand signatures on it, probably over that now. We need twice that, 3 times that, 100 times that. So if you want to be part of that, we'd love to have you as part of the movement to get Donald Trump as much information as possible on the fella he's going to be chatting with. Good night, Vince. And he's away. Just poof, and he's gone. I don't mean that in a bad way. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'll shut up now. That's where we were. Here's an interesting stat that's just been released, and thank you to the noticer. They are putting out a lot of interesting stories. 4 out of 10 international students that come to Australia never go home. I would have thought that number would be actually significantly higher, but 4 out of 10, not so bad. But when the 4 out of 10 bring 20 family members per side of the family over, as whatever they call them, compassionate or whatever they bring them over as, or family visas, that's where we start to get so many more people coming through the door as well. The 4 out of 10 that are staying at the moment really isn't the problem. It's the huge, it's the Freedom Fairy. I'm sorry. Oh, no, don't laugh. All right, calm down. I'm showing strength. I'm crying, but I'm showing strength. Let's get on to something else that I can talk about. Pardon me, the March for Australia is coming up this weekend, and if you're going, we want to hear about it. Let us know. Love to help you out if you are going to Brisbane or to Melbourne or to Sydney or to Adelaide or to Perth or to Darwin or to anywhere else one happens to be happening, and they are happening all over Australia, from Hobart to Perth, from Sydney to Canberra to Adelaide. Haven't seen the Darwin one pop up there yet, but I'm sure there is one. I did see a notice for it somewhere, and they are happening in regional centres as well. So highly recommend you get along to this. It isn't a march against immigration at all. It is a march to protect Australia from what this government seems hell-bent on doing, and that is bringing in so many people from overseas that it ruins our economy. It blows our rentals and our living situations out of the water completely, makes people homeless. It is impacting businesses on so many different levels and scales, not to mention the fact that this government is also responsible for introducing over 5,000 new regulations in the last 6 to 8 years. 5,000. They brought in over 500 new laws in the last 3 years. It all has to stop, folks. We've got to get rid of the government, and this mass immigration push that the government are providing is one of the biggest problems that we are facing. If we don't stop this, our nation, and particularly our ability to vote out Labor, could well be gone. Because every one of these people who's coming into this country is doing so knowing that the Labor government let them in, and that support needs to be shown at the ballot box. They are re-engineering the Australian demographic, quite literally. Just like Biden tried to do by flinging open the US borders and allowing whoever to come across, and then advocating for them to have the vote. It's happening, folks. It's happening all over, sadly, and we are just fodder. In Ireland, there is some truly shitful stuff happening. Get a load of
My own child in his own local school, I was told that there's only so many spaces, and first of all, diversity kids have to be picked, then the Ukrainian children will be picked, and then the local Irish children whose parents were born and reared, and probably their uncles, their brothers, their sisters went to this school, are put into a lottery system for the remaining places.
Do you think this is unfair?
Yeah, I reckon that's pretty unfair. Unfreaking believable. Thankfully, we're not at that sort of situation, as far as I know, anywhere in Australia yet. But England and the UK and clearly Ireland are leading by example at the moment. They're not the only country. Germany is having huge issues at the moment with the immigrants that came illegally into the border there. It is across the border there. Their crime rates are through the roof. Their homelessness is through the roof. The German people are calling for significant measures from the German government. The French people are very unhappy with everything in France at the moment when it comes to their government. However, other than setting a few things on fire occasionally, they haven't brought the shit trucks back to the streets of Paris, where they use those poo spreaders to maximum advantage. Would like to see more of that. But they are protesting, and in the Netherlands, they're doing the same. Pretty wild stuff, hey. Actually, speaking of wild stuff, let's have a bit of a look at this. Now, this is pretty weird. That's a weird thing on a pole. That pole is 200 feet high out of the ground. Now, this is a testing range in America, in one of the, I think it's in the Mojave, this one. This is a radar cross-section test range, and what they have on the end of that beam is, well, your guess is as good as theirs. From different angles, it can tilt around on the top of that beam. It could be a drone. It could be a fighter jet. It could be some sort of other new Generation 6 sort of test they're doing. The fuselage might be upside down. It might not be. This is a rather interesting process that they go through here to test the radar cross-section, meaning the stealth or stealthiness of any particular airframe. Now, this is shot with a very, very long lens from a long way away on top of a hill. But what you're seeing here is this whole beam lowers back into the ground, and that's a 200-foot beam. And the test article, in this case, is left on the surface and is wheeled away, unplugged from the top of that beam, and is driven away, just like that. What is it? Well, next gen something for sure. Could it have some helpful possibilities when it comes to 3i Atlas, which has come a lot closer, as you would expect? It's something that's traveling at the speed it's traveling, but it has also popped a few eyes wide open again in the last few days. It has made course corrections, and while it's coming around Mars, there is no comet tail to be seen. We would expect to see some sort of comet tail if it were a comet, simply because of the reflections of the sunlight coming off the ice crystals in the tail. There are no such things. There are no outgassings. Usually when a comet gets closer to a heat source like a sun, there are explosive outgassings. There is no sign of any of that. That usually contributes to the comet tail, and that's why you see lots of chunks of rock and stuff in the animated or AI versions of comet tails. But apparently they're observable like that. If I'm not going to say it. Anyway, 3i Atlas does appear to be quite steadily making its way to Earth, and Andrew might nearly be onto something here. Project Bluebeam could be headed our way. You've got to bear in mind also, though, that the Vatican have got their own interstellar observatory. It's based in Arizona on top of a mountain called Mount Graham, and you can actually Google Earth it. Go and have a bit of a look. There are 3 installations there. One in particular is more than capable of seeing extremely long distances. Like it is the biggest telescope, I think, in the world, and it's run by Jesuits exclusively. It's a Vatican-owned and run operation run by the Jesuit arm. Now, they've had that set up for many years, and they have been tracking and tracing and watching one thing from all accounts. And that one thing They've been waiting for its return. And now it seems to be tracking 3i Atlas. I don't know whether or not you can believe that. This is just what I hear. But I don't personally know any Jesuit astronomers who are based there who've said, yeah, Carl, yeah, we're doing that for sure, man. But it's an interesting piece of news to come out when most of us wouldn't have known of the existence of a purely Vatican-owned observatory that's actually called the Lucifer Observatory. It's been changed a little bit and things are spelt a bit different now, but they call the I don't know, the mechanism that they use to view through, they call the whole thing Lucy, short for Lucifer. Isn't it nice? Well, it'll be nice if we do happen to get the aliens arriving, and I don't think they'll be too alien to us if they arrive. I think if it is something like that and they really are coming back here, then it will be whoever started us on this path, whoever created us in the beginning. And I don't know, the good Lord may travel via asteroid. Who the hell knows? I've got a very open mind to it. If they do turn out to be reptilian and not very nice, you'll be pleased to know that the American military have been doing a bit of research on weapons.
U.S. Department of Defense has just announced a new type of laser cannon weapon has completed combat deployment testing. It has no muzzle, no ammunition, and no explosion. Its lethality comes from a silent beam of pure energy. This weapon is called Sentinel-X, controlled by an artificial intelligence system that can identify and lock onto targets in 0.3 seconds, then use a beam of light exceeding 10,000 degrees Celsius to instantly vaporize enemy.
Instantly vaporize anything. I was sent a video today of Maui, the on-the-ground effects just after the big fire that went through there. You know, the fire that burnt half a house. Looked like the houses have been cut in half by a beam of some kind. Well, I won't show you that because it is some distressing vision, because there are a number of bodies in the front of it. But those bodies, I can tell you, are ash. They may as well have been in a nuclear blast, and it is just simply the ash that you are seeing in the position where they were left, like Pompeii after the volcanoes. So extreme heat. The damage that they did to the fire did to vehicles is staggering, and the damage it did to the humans inside those vehicles is a level of cremation that you would not see in a crematorium, I don't think. Not without it having gone through the bone grinder afterwards. But staggering, absolutely staggering. Anyway, that vision is out there to check. I'm not sure if I posted on my Telegram channel. You could probably go and check that if you wanted to. Anyway, having known that the Americans are using some reasonable weapons, there is every chance that, given the way the laws are going in this country, that they'll be able to be farmed out to law enforcement at some stage in the not too distant future. And I have no doubt there are certain occasions where law enforcement could do with some weapons like that. For the moment, we're going to have to make do with the weapons that they currently have, but some of them don't need a weapon to pull over people who should know better, but apparently
All right,
don't.
sir, step back over here for me. What's going on with this truck?
Officer, I know, the hub's broke. I was only trying to reach the next exit, just 2 miles more.
You're riding on bare axles.
You're riding on bare axles. Now, that's in America, but we've had that happen here too, a lot. And I want to say, I hope that the driver who went off the road, I think it was last night or the night before, out near Camille, I hope that that driver is still okay, because some people came across that scene and found a lot of blood in the cabin, but didn't find a driver anywhere. So might have been taken by a drop bear, I guess. Half an opportunity. All right, folks, going to love you and leave you. Must have run an hour. Oh, we have. We've just run an hour on the dot. If you are heading off, make sure you are heading off to buy some bullion. Please give Ainsley Bullion a go. If you don't want to stand in a lineup because the lineup is considerable at the moment, then don't stand in a lineup. Make sure that you go to Ainsley online, ainsleyBullion.com.au, and let's have a little quick look just to see what's gone up or down in an hour. And this is sort of what it's been like all day. So Ainsley saying the spot price is $80.05, so it's dropped a fraction in the last hour, about 90 cents or so. And the other lot are saying $82.82 at the moment. So take your pick. It's still over $80, and I am suggesting that it's going to be staying that way. It's only going up. So buy some, folks. Don't forget to mention Voice of Freedom because you'll get yourself a bit of a discount. Not a huge one unless you're buying a lot, but if you are buying a lot, every little discount helps. It'll help you buy a little bit more. And be safe on the roads while you're carrying it home, folks, because, well, that'll be pretty bloody awful to get hit by a dickhead carrying all your wealth home. So be safe on the roads. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night. And God love you. Get onto those petitions and please go to our VOFHQ website and read truth, or however that works, that message that I've posted and that Vince has posted on behalf of FBN Media as well. And we'll see if we can't get Donald Trump to have a little bit of knowledge about how real Aussies feel about the fool he's going to meet in Washington on the 20th. I've got a sneaking suspicion at the moment Albo is off hiding, being trained, being rehearsed into how he's going to deal with this meeting with Trump. I don't think there's too much of a holiday about it, but I am looking forward to the shit show it's going to be. Let's hope you are too. Be safe, folks. Talk to you tomorrow.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!